can tell me about the New Romance and where did the name the New Romance come from?
When I started the band in 2009, I made a list of like 15 different band names. And one of the band names that I really liked was the New Romantics.
Oh, okay.
And lo and behold, there was another band called the New Romantics. So that was, kind of taken. So my wife, Danielle, actually made the suggestion of the New Romance. And I said, I kind of like that. And, the New Romantic period of music was, bands like Duran Duran and, Frankie Goes to Hollywood, that, Spawn Day Ballet, which was, some of the groups that we covered earlier.
Right.
So it kind of fit in what we did. So, yeah.
So how did all the band members meet?
So the original lineup in 2009, our bass player, Scott Strybeck, and I formed the band. And we put out an ad, locally on mbparty.com and Craigslist. And, formed the band that way. There was a local karaoke singer by the name of Farouk Khan, F major.
Okay.
Is his stage name.
Right.
And thought he was very talented and had a lot of potential to front a band. Never had fronted a band before. So I recruited him and kind of took off. At that point, that lineup was together until the end of 2013. And I had left the band to pursue other interests.
Oh, okay.
And we did our last show. The band broke up. And I told the guys, look, I don't want to hold you back from what you're doing.
Right.
If you guys want the band name, it's yours. I don't care.
Okay.
They decided to all pursue other interests. And since the band name is still available and not being used, I repackaged the band and brought in Major Mid, Fred Yankelo, who replaced Scott, and another bass player, Sean Palm, who played with us for a couple of years, for a couple of months, I should say. So Fred and I reformed the band, brought in Major Mint, who was singing in Phoenix Rising.
Oh, okay.
Alex, who was playing with an original band called King Belvedere.
Oh, okay.
And Ray Snyder, who was the founder or co-founder of local band Tripwire.
Oh, okay. Didn't know.
And then was playing at the time with Straight Shooter and Stiff Richard. And,
okay.
We all kind of knew one another.
Each other. Right.
With the exception of Alex, I didn't know Alex. Fred knew him. And, we all got in a room. We had a private gig that was still on the books, 2 private gigs that was still on the books. So we got in a room and said, we've got to cover this gig. Let's see how it goes. And, we felt really good about what we had there. There was quite a bit of chemistry between us. So
I feel that it's a good connection.
Oh, yeah, most
it's a powerful connection.
And now Dave Stack recently replaced Ray, who left to pursue other interests.
Okay. So how long have you been playing music?
Me personally, since I was 12 or 13.
Awesome.
I'm 38 now, so a long time.
It was your interest that when you first heard music, that you, like your icon, that you...
It's kind of, it varies, depending on what kind of mood I'm in.
Right.
And, my interest at 38 is different than when I was, 12, 13.
That's
some of it's still the same. I remember seeing U2 for the first time.
Oh, you've seen them. That's so cool.
And it was at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia.
Oh,
and I remember watching that show live and thought, yeah, this is pretty cool. I want to do that. When I was a kid, I remember watching Live Aid, believe it or not, on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a moment, watching Queen play Freddie Mercury, who I think is one of the best around.
Exactly.
So, seeing him perform, it was, one of those things where, hey, this is pretty cool.
That's true.
And nowadays, I mean, my tastes are truly all over the place. I like, I'm a big fan of Neil Diamond, believe it or not.
Oh, that's cool. He does have some good music.
And still love U2. And, Guns N' Roses, The Cure, Depeche Mode. So it's, all of those. I'm just a fan of music. I like all kinds of music. So, it depends what kind of mood I'm in. But I guess to answer your question, watching Live Aid was very much so a reason. Watching U2 for the first time. And, my family comes from a long line of musicians. My brother, Tim, plays in a local band. I would go see them when I was a little kid. And my dad played saxophone. So,
so cool, so cool. I'm excited when this happened. What was it like winning the Best Tribute Band and the Best Cover Artist by Ram's Head and the Maryland Music Awards?
It was a tremendous honor. The Ram's Head Award, the Rammy Award, was a total shock.
Oh.
So, that was really cool. We got that for our show in 2015. We played the night after Christmas, December 26th.
Right after. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic show. We played for like 3 hours straight and did an encore.
Wow, 3 hours straight.
Yeah, awesome. It was a really cool night.
Wow, okay.
And then, obviously the Maryland Music Awards. There's so much talent in Maryland and in Baltimore.
Right.
When we went up against some pretty, stiff, hard competition with, our friends Alter Ego were nominated for that award as well. So it was a great honor. I mean, I always look at those things as, no matter who wins, it's the community, the music community that wins. It's we all share it. So it was, it was a great honor to win it. But I don't look at us as the best band. If you're spending time away from your friends and family, on any given night, everyone out there, in my opinion, whether it's your first time playing in front of someone or you've been doing it for years,
right?
It takes heart and courage to do that. So, yeah, I mean, it was a tremendous honor to be awarded that, and we.
I was so excited when I heard that you guys won. I'm like, I didn't have a doubt. As well, I love the other bands as well. But as soon as I heard the New Romance, of course, that was my heart. I'm like,
thank you.
Oh,
thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I wanted to find out too. Also, what is your favorite song to do when you're out there performing?
It really depends on the mood that I'm in, the mood that the band's in, and I guess the easy answer to that is whatever the crowd's into.
Okay.
I have personal favorites that I really enjoy that we don't play as much as we used to.
Right.
Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode's always been one of my absolute favorites.
That is an awesome song. Yeah.
With or Without You by U2, which I personally sing is.
You do that awesome.
Thank you.
Love it when you do that. You're welcome.
Songs that get the crowd going. Don't Stop Believing. Don't You Forget About Me.
Exactly.
Songs that have and a lot of what we do has a lot of crowd interaction. So in one way, shape, or form, every song that we do is a favorite.
Say, every song.
But I if I had to pick one or two, Enjoy the Silence and probably With or Without You are my two favorites.
Two most favorites.
Well, I take that back. I forgot about this song. Why Can't This Be Love by Van Halen.
Oh yeah, that's
definitely a favorite of mine as well.
Love that.
That entire album was amazing.
Yes.
5150, but yeah.
That's awesome. So, your favorite '80s performer / band?
Way too many to list.
There's a lot.
If I had to answer that question today, I would say it's probably a toss-up between U2, The Cure, Depeche Mode, and Duran Duran.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hungry Like the Wolf. We love that one. You do that one.
Yeah.
That's an awesome song.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, what made you perform the 80s music opposed to other music like 70s or the 90s or the music of today?
80s is what I've always, gravitated towards. I remember one of the first albums that I listened to was, that I went out and bought, was The Queen is Dead by the Smiths. And, I've always had a fascination with 80s music.
Oh, okay.
I'm personally a 90s kid.
Okay.
So, I graduated high school in the 90s. But 80s music, going back to, when I was a little kid watching Queen and Live Aid and,
Right.
seeing, those artists perform the 80s, I gravitated towards that. So when the New Romance formed, and we formed, kind of by freak accident, to be honest with you,
Right.
I had always done original music.
Oh, okay.
And when that band broke up,
Mm-hmm.
it was just kind of natural to say, well, hey, let me try my hand at the cover scene.
Have you thought about doing any of your original music for the New Romance?
Yeah, we had talked about it. Myself, Fred, our bass player, Alex, and Mitt have all played in original bands. Dave, I believe as well, though I don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that we talked about.
Okay.
It hasn't happened yet. I personally would love it.
That would be awesome.
But yeah, we've thought about it. It's just something that we haven't done.
It just hasn't
yet.
done yet.
Yeah.
Okay, so it may be in the works, or maybe something.
Yeah, I mean,
ideas out
it's
there.
yeah. I mean, the idea is definitely out there. Whether or not it happens, it's if we do it, we would want to do it for the right reasons, and that's to entertain the people who support us, and we don't just want to release something for us. We want to do it for the people who support us, and if we
for your fans.
yeah, if we think that they would like it, then by all means we would do it.
Oh, okay.
But it's been discussed, but again, it's just not something that's on the immediate horizon.
Right, it's in the back burner.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Is there any songs that you play that have special meanings? You have a special meaning for, you feel maybe you have, that really grabs you when you're out there?
Enjoy the Silence by Depeche Mode. There's a line in that song, all I ever wanted, all I ever needed is here in my arms.
I love that part. That is awesome.
That reminds me a lot of my son Gavin, and also my wife Danielle. So that song has special meaning to me. With or Without You has special meaning to me.
Yes.
And that's a song when I sing, I try to connect with the crowd as much as possible.
Yes.
In a way that, when we play that song, I try to go out into the audience and I'm sure you've seen it 100 times.
Right.
Where I kind of make it a part of the audience more so than a part of me or the band per se. But
I know my friend Sandy has reached out to you. I know that's a very touching song, and it touches her heart.
The last time we played that song, it was funny because I reached in and grabbed her a hug, and I looked over and she was like crying. And I'm like, oh my god,
she's so emotional.
And it's funny because that's it seems like every time that we do that song, someone
gets that emotion.
Yeah, I often I don't know if it's just the song or performance why my ego says it's the performance wise when you say it. No,
and then it's a mixture of both.
No, I think that it's a beautiful song. It really is. So that song has special meaning. I mean, to be able to connect with your audience in a special way. So,
right. Yeah. That's good. Is there any new songs in the works?
Yes.
Yay!
I don't know if I should tell you or not.
Oh, sometimes it might be a good surprise. Let's make that to be a good surprise. But at least we know it's in the works.
Yeah, there's a band goes through stages where we try to flip our set list every 6 months or so, and we've added a lot of material over the 3 years that this lineup's been together.
Mm-hmm.
So every 6 months we're trying to bring in a lot of material, and what we typically do is come up with 15 to 20 songs, get in a room, play them, say this feels good, let's introduce this, and work out the other songs, and some come in, some don't. But right now we're working on about 10 new songs.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Hopefully there's a Def Leppard song in there.
There is a Def Leppard song. I can tell you there's a Def Leppard song.
Awesome. We don't know it yet, but it's coming. So if there was anything you could change or you could have done differently, what would that be?
It's a good question. I guess in a lot of ways, I wouldn't want to change anything.
Right.
I'm not one to live on regrets, though I have, a ton of regrets. Everyone has regrets in life. But we're in an excellent position now. So, I can't say that if I would have changed something, before, it might have, we could have gone down a different path or something. So, in a lot of ways, I wouldn't want to change anything. But I think some of the relationships that, members that have been in the band before, a few of those, have soured over the years for, whatever reason.
Right.
And, I kind of regret that in a sense that, I sometimes can be very set in my ways and driven when I have a goal that I just tunnel vision. I want to, get that. I want to achieve that. And not necessarily everyone's going to agree with that.
Right.
Maturity and time is the best thing that can ever happen to anybody.
Right.
So, in hindsight, looking at certain things, you say, maybe I should have handled, certain situations.
A little differently.
Yeah.
Different way of looking at things.
Exactly.
So 2016 was a great year for the band. What can we expect out of 2017?
More greatness, hopefully.
Yes, they're on top of the world right now. We love the new romance.
We're working on a lot of really neat things. Every year we make a list of what we want to try to do as far as new venues that we want to pursue. We last year broke into Philadelphia, which was really cool. So just looking to expand.
Just different places.
Yeah.
Out.
It would be great if we could actually achieve that. But at this point, we're focusing on, you know, having fun, connecting with our fans.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, you know, we take what we do seriously, but we don't take ourselves that seriously, if that makes any sense.
Right. Yes.
That, you know, we just want to go out there and you know, make people happy and give people a reason to look forward to, you know.
Their weekend and having a good time.
Yeah, I mean, so many people have said to me over the years, you know, we can't wait for Friday or Saturday to come see you play, and it's, you know, life is, you know, will beat you down if you let it.
That's true.
And you know, for someone to say that, you know, to me, I take that to heart. When someone says, "Hey, we can't wait for Friday or Saturday night," and you know, for someone to want to spend their time to come see us, you know, it's just we're looking for more ways to connect with our fans and you know, to give a reason for people to continue to want to support us and come out to see us.
That's awesome. In closing, I have one more question.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything you would like to add or say?
Number one, thanks for asking me to do this
You're
interview.
welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
No, I can't thank our fans enough who come out and support us. I've said this all the time,
Yes.
and I'll continue to say it, that there's so many great bands out there. And it's a true honor to be able to perform for the people who come out and support us.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
And the band, we appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you
Appreciate
so
it.
much for
Thank
this
you.
interview.
Appreciate it.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. Oh.